No, it is
No.
11:28.
11:28, we have 2 more minutes. So, ECA prides itself on always being on time. So we are going to wait those 2 minutes so that we have everybody else who wants to join us, join us. We're getting some hello messages. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Gurpreet. I can see your message. And Urmi, thank you for being here, everyone.
We are live, Amrita.
We are live. Okay, everyone, welcome to this webinar on enjoying family life during lockdown. So, I got this joke a few days back. Oh, before I start with the jokes, let me introduce who I am and our esteemed panelists over here. So, I'm Amrita Rajpal, and I'm the founder of EduCart. So, EduCart is a company that provides content, curriculum, teacher development programs, school setup, and franchising solutions to schools. So we've set up more than 200 schools and we've been here for more than 20 years. So I'm also the territory head of the Early Childhood Association and I'm the moderator for today's session. So welcome everyone. Before I start with introducing the panelists, I want to introduce the Early Childhood Association. So, the Early Childhood Association was set up with a vision that all preschools, balwadis, NGOs, children's activity classes, parents, students, teachers, media houses, companies, anything that deals with children's products, in short, anyone connected to young children can come together and advocate, discuss, share, learn, connect, and bring about a change in the quality of education for the early years. So I request everybody, I'm going to be putting down this link. Please become a member of the Early Childhood Association. And you can see all our committee members over here. And they've all been here for a long time and able to contribute so much and also give so much value and also get so much value. So it's a two-way process and it's very enriching as you're going to see, with this discussion. And now we're getting back to our topic. So our topic is enjoying family life during lockdown. And let's see who we have over here with us. We've got this whole esteemed panel. I'm going to start with Sangeeta Sharma. Now, I'm going to make everyone's introduction very short because if I have to read out everyone's profiles, we are going to be sitting here for the whole session. So we'll do this quickly and hear the more interesting things later. So Sangeeta Sharma is the principal of Just Kidding International Preschool and Daycare, and she's a member of the ECA committee. She has many, many years of experience, has been a teacher, and now is a principal. So welcome, Sangeeta. We're looking forward to all your,
Namaste,
input
everyone.
in this. Wonderful. We now have Tasneem. Tasneem has been in this education sector for 30 years. She's the owner and head of Sera International Preschool and Childcare, Kolaba. She's also the joint secretary of the Early Childhood Association, Mumbai Territory. Welcome, Tasneem. We're looking forward to hear what you have to say today. We have Yasmin. Yasmin is the founder and trustee and principal of Belvedere Spring International School. She's the Early Childhood Association Territory Head, Mumbai. So welcome, Yasmin. We're so happy to have you here. Kritika. Kritika has been in this industry for 27 years. She's been associated with a lot of brands, Kangaroo Kids, Podar International, BD Somani International School, HVB Global Academy, and Witty International School.
Hello.
So, Kritika,
Hi.
thank
Hi,
you for
everybody.
being here on our panel.
Thank you.
And now we have Jeshta. Jeshta has founded the Tweeties Institute of Education. It's a preschool, daycare, and activity center. She's worked as a teacher with Kangaroo Kids and with Rishi Kul Vidyalaya in Bombay, and she's also been territory academic coordinator with Euro Kids in Delhi.
Hello.
So we have this whole esteemed panel here waiting to give us their views on enjoying family life in the lockdown period. You know, now getting back to the topic, I was just reading a joke on my phone the other day, and someone was writing to another person, to their friend, obviously, and said, spending time with family, brothers, sisters, they're not bad people. So we spend time with family, but now we're spending time differently with family. We are being with family. So there's a difference with that. And we have, this eminent panel out here giving us their views on how are we going to be spending and how should we be spending time with family in this lockdown period. So we'll start with, let me see the questions I have. Yes, we'll start with Jeshta. So hi Jeshta. Yes, and we've got a question for you.
Hi.
What do you think are the challenges or difficulties for parents, especially working people in the lockdown period? And what do you think is the solution?
Hi, Amrita. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on this platform and share my views. So I'd like to focus on the challenges that the parents face during lockdown based on my experience and the interactions that I have had. So there are so many challenges actually that these parents face, but there are two specific ones which I'd like to, which I feel that they are very stressful for the parents that they're facing right now. So the first one is the emotional stress that they're going through. So earlier parents didn't have so much of time to spend time with children because most of the time the children are in school or they are engaged into classes, tuitions. And now, because of this lockdown, the parents and the children are together like 24/7. So they're going through a lot of stress in terms of how to handle the work front, the home front, handling the issues that, emotional issues, the stress levels of the children, the mood swings, and so many other things that they must be facing. So for them, I would like to suggest that, you could just sit, talk to your child, interact, give them responsibilities, make them feel a part of the house. Do a lot of mindfulness practice, play, and these things will ease out a little stress level with both the parent and the child here. And the second, which I really felt is the most challenging thing that the working parents especially face is the time management. They're like trying hard to balance home work plus a lot of it's really challenging when younger children are around, so they're like trying to figure out how I could do the best use of the time here. So for them, I could only share is that solution is the best thing for most of the problems on this planet here. So first thing is you could set a routine here. So routines are very, very necessary again for children and adults because they both thrive on that. If you could include a little bit of nap time in the routine, that just works like a little extra time for the working parents to make the most of that nap time. Third is what I could say is keeping a lot of unstructured activities for children. Now, when I talk about unstructured, it's something just keeping for children, and you don't need to supervise constantly, and they're just playing around with it for a long time, and while the parent is doing their own work. So unstructured activity could be water play, sand play, block play, a lot of construction toys, coloring are like a savior there. Now, sand is something which all parents may not have at home. So what you could do, you could make it as an edible sand at home. So taking little dough, putting little oil, you could just spice it up by putting some flavor or an essence to it or a food color to it. So, younger children, especially, you prefer like, giving something at home and, engaging it for a longer time. So something like that or a dough play. giving books to read for the elder kids. So these kind of things will be like keeping the children engaged while the parents are engaged in their work, balancing it out and easing out the stress for both. And to conclude this, I could only say that parents can be very, very creative and resourceful here. That's the best thing I could say. And last that I would like to say is, Amrita, thank you so much for giving me this platform to share my views here.
Thank you, Jeshta. You really said some things that, everybody is going to take back. Yes, you're right about having, this whole emotional imbalance. So people have not been at home and now they're at home. And you touched upon, giving children time with themselves. So all the time parents are entertaining children. But it's nice to give them their time with themselves. Let them be alone with their blogs. Set your own routine. Set your own routine is obviously there has to be some structure to the routine. It cannot be set your own routine and do exactly what you like. But having some kind of structure where, you have your time and children also have their own time. Yeah. Also, I feel, it's a nice thing to get other family members involved with taking turns and having other people involved with, you spend time or you do something with the child. So
right.
Sometimes it happens that we just take all the onus on ourselves as parents. And now I think fathers are also, very involved with children, but otherwise it was mostly and by large, generally, the mother which takes care. And it's nice to see that other family members are also getting involved with children. So wonderful, Jesha. Thank you so much
Thank you
for that. Yes. Now, Kritika, we are getting on to you. Kritika, you'll have to unmute yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Kritika, a question for you is, how can we use family time to create learning environments for children? So now children are at home, and the whole environment is different. Being in a school is a different place. Being at home is a different place. And we also want children to learn. So what do we do that we sort of bridge the gap between these two? We create a learning environment at home.
Before I begin, thank you, Amrita. Thank you, ECA, for giving me this platform to express myself and share my views with the parents around. We all know that we all have to accept the fact that schools are going to be shut for quite some time because of this virus. This lockdown has built up a certain level of stress and anxiety for the parents. It has become very important for the parents to sit with their children and plan their day. So I've sorted out some 5 things which the parents need to do is first, that follow a schedule to make the children feel at ease. When I'm saying follow a schedule, that schedule that you follow is going to make the children feel at ease, safer, and more relaxed. And more important, when you're creating the schedules, you involve the children. And the schedule has to be very flexible. And let your kids socialize with your peers digitally. Plan up fun activities over a video call with your peers to give them some time to socialize, making study groups which will decrease the feeling of isolation. Create activities and plan with the parents and peers so that they can do some activities over a video call. It could be quiz, could be DIY activities, could be reading stories to each other. Then you can make use of technology. Though we say that you have to limit your kids to a screen activity, but don't forget, when it is done right, it can be of a great way of help to engage your child. You have some educational apps, and you have stories, and you have some supplements to the curriculum. To the schoolwork which is happening, which is online, we can just get on and you can, it's very useful. Then you can get on your hands on experiments. Give your kids some time to focus on some DIY activities. Experiments could be drawing, could be craft, and watching documentaries, educational videos. Try not to be hard. Remember, they are too also going through a stressful moment at the moment. Yeah. And you could have family bonding activities. You can connect them with the grandparents over a video call. Then you can play some loud music and you can dance around and this is going to be a stress buster activity for them. And play some board games. And you could have some baking sessions with them. We can create a nice donut or something, involve the children into it. They love to be part of it and say, this is what I have baked. Yeah. You can have a DIY activity like you can have some red stickers, it could be bindis or stickers which is easily accessible in the house, and cut out of some magazines, 20 cutouts you can have, and you can create a story around it. What happens when two people shake hands together in talking to them how this COVID spreads? What happens when two people shake hands together? Put a red bindi. This is how the virus spreads. Yeah, and you can create a video along, and you can share this video with your parents and the families and all. They can say, "See, this is what the child has created. This is what they understand how the COVID spreads." Yeah, this is what. And then I would like to share something what me and my husband has just put up. I have put up posted on my fridge. Yeah, it's a small quarantine question. Yeah, which would say, "What am I grateful for today? Whom am I checking in today or connecting with today? What expectation of normal am I getting in today? What am I getting from outside today? How am I moving my body today? What beauty am I either creating, cultivating, or inventing in me today?" So these are the few questionnaires that I put up on my fridge. So we get back and we see, reflect, how much have I achieved for the day and work for a better day tomorrow. So this is a good stress buster activity. This is what I like to share.
Wonderful, Kritika. Really nice. It was so much value. Now, when I can see what you say about, connection. When we are talking about connection, what are we talking about? Being with another person, right? So if I'm with you, even over this webinar, I am totally connected with all of you. So when children are with their peers, or they're with their grandparents, or they're with family members, the idea is that we get the family connection. And that by itself is a learning environment, learning about your family. So wonderful, just getting that whole thing. Also for all of us, this is a time for reflection. Everything has slowed down. We are not running out. We are not doing our things. So are children. They're also dealing with their own stress. Their routines have gone, all haywire. And now to get that semblance of a routine. And when you said, Kritika, have the routine be flexible. It cannot be harsh, because as it is, when we are all seeing everything around, nothing is normal. Nothing is the way it was. And now when we have this routine and we are going to be flexible with it, we are also taking into consideration how children are feeling, what they want to do, how they want to do it. It's a great balance that we can create. I also like this idea so much about getting a bindi and passing it on. When you have these pictures and you put it over here, you know that when you connect, you have to be careful. You cannot just do what you like. But right now, this is the time when we have to be careful. And we are passing on things that we don't know we are passing on. Very nice. Thank you, Kritika. Thank you so much. Yes. I also want to add, I was thinking that when we're creating a learning environment, we can have these family games. We can have a housey or a memory game where, children can play together with the family. So it's a learning environment for everybody. Yes. So great. Now I'm getting on to Tasneem. Hi, Tasneem.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, Amrita.
Good
Thank
morning.
you so much for this opportunity.
Great. We are very happy to have you here.
My greetings to the co-panelists, Early Childhood Association members, and the wonderful audience we have here. I would like to share some novel ideas and experience.
But wait, Tasneem, let me get to the question so everybody knows what the question is. Yes. So Tasneem, your question is, tell us the various ways that children are enjoying family time in this lockdown period.
Sure. I built something on that. I will share it with you.
Please.
So there are certain novel experiences and ideas which I would like to share. And we can start with a little acronym. So we start with the letter S. S is about changing your setup and style in your home, in your room. For example, let's have a bonfire today evening. We can get all the children together, small to the elders sitting around, get the soft toys, and let's have some music, some games, and even supper around the bonfire. We can then proceed to the balcony and gaze stars. So it's a different event and it definitely evolves happiness. So this is about the S. The letter M. M is about mindfulness. Here I have expressed myself on a magic carpet ride. So we all come together to get the family members' attention. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all get them together and we sit down and relax. We are feeling lighter. And swoosh, what do we have under us? We have a magic carpet. It is so beautiful and soft. Let's go to the clouds. We feel so beautiful and lovely. Oh, we are doing a swaying in the breeze and we are going a bumpity bump. We see the clutter of clouds. Insia, where would you like to go? Mommy, I want to go to the beach. Okay, let's go to the beach. So we have a virtual tour and we come back very relaxed. The next letter is I. I is about the interest quotient. We get bored very easily these days. So let's rub out the boredom from the house. All family members join together, communicate in a discussion, and they have certain interests to share. We pen down these interests, make chits, and put them in a jar. This jar is very accessible in the house. When anyone gets bored, we pick up the jar, take a chit, and we enact the activity. Simple activities like do 10 jumping jacks. Go to the kitchen, take a slice, put butter on it, put bread and put jam on it and have it. Go to mommy and do a hair spa for her. So these simple activities will create interest. The letter L. I'd like to reiterate on what Kritika said. Let's dance, let's get up from our seats. Let's move, let's have music and movement. For this, I would like to share a hashtag, Happy Cell Challenge. And this particular song, I'm humming for quite some time. I'd like to share it with you. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Shake yourself, it's good for your health. Every little cell is happy and well. So you can take your toddlers, swirl around, swing with them, dance, and have a blast with the music. The other letter is E. E is for empowering and encouraging the children. We should do some craft activities like making an apron and making them have a chef cap. Let's take them in the kitchen. They can do a lot of sorting of fruits, vegetables, washing, putting the dish in the rack, and we can spruce up some lovely recipes with them. Oreo laddus, chaat masala, sprouts masala. We can do something like watermelon popsicles, pinwheel sandwiches. Oh, we have a lot of things we can do with our children. So this is to encourage and empower them with responsibilities. Now, when we put the words together, it becomes a smile. I'm sure all of you all are smiling. S is for the setup and style. M is for the mindfulness. I is for the interest quotient. L is for let's get up, let's dance. And E is for empowering and encouragement. I hope you've enjoyed this session and please make your quarantine into quality time. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Tasneem, you brought a smile to everybody's lips out here and you made everyone's feet tap. So I think we all want to have happy bodies with happy cells. And I think that's really important because when you're talking about enjoying family time during the lockdown period, what is enjoyment? Enjoyment is just letting go and having fun, no? So when you're singing, you're releasing all these happy hormones in your body and you're just enjoying yourself. So that was wonderful. And yes, you know, all these cooking activities, we always feel children are too young to cook or they're too small for things, but they're not too small. Making an Oreo laddu is something which is so doable. They'll just love it. And this is a great way of, you know, inculcating an interest also in a child in cooking, in helping, in feeling empathetic. when you're doing a hair spa for your mother, what happens? You just start feeling that you're also role playing, you know, a hairdresser. Another thing is you start feeling that love for your family because you're doing something for your family. And that is really nice. I also love that bit about going into fantasy land. You know, this is a representational stage that children are at. And this is all symbolically. You're getting into a fantasy land. You can be in a place which is a happier place, even though you are here. And, you know, transporting yourself, using your imagination, going from taking a magic carpet and going somewhere else. So wonderful, so nice, having a make-believe bonfire. The bonfire is just symbolic of warmth and family time, being together with everybody. I think that was really nice. So I think these are a lot of takeaways that people can do at home with their families, you know, and take it away. I also want to add one or two because even though I think Tasneem and Kritika have added a whole bank, but I'm still going to put in my little bit. But I love this idea of poring over photographs. That's what I've been doing with my kids. I've been showing them photographs of myself when I was small, all the things that I've been doing, you know, wedding photographs and things like that. And I think they can relate to me as a different person now, because otherwise I'm only mummy. But now I'm also someone who got hit by her, got spanked by her mother, you know, and did naughty things. So there is a different kind of connection that, you know, she's human. She's not only a mother who tells us to clean and put our things back in the same place and whatever, or is responsible for us, but also getting that human connection over there. So that's another thing I've been doing. And also, like Kritika said, this gratitude thing about getting people, family together and being grateful for what we have. That there is always something to look forward to when we are grateful. So really wonderful. And also a lovely time to spend time with grandparents and revive, you know, have family time. When we're talking about family time, and I've been thinking of my time when I was a child, and there was my grandmother, and she didn't know English, and she knew one English song, and we used to make her sing it over and over again because her accent was a little skewed or the words were mispronounced. But I can't tell you the amount of memories I have of that song, and my grandmother happily singing it for us, even though she knew we were laughing, you know, at her. It just was a lovely time together, which is just in my memory bank. So I think it's a time to create memories. Yes. So now my next question is for Sangeeta. Sangeeta, you'll unmute yourself, please.
Sorry, yeah.
Yes, yes. So hi, Sangeeta. Now you have to answer, what hobbies can a person introduce or nurture in this quarantine period? So when I'm talking about hobbies, I'm talking about the children. I'm also talking for the parents, because it's a family together that we're talking about. It's one unit.
Right. Thank you, Amrita, for the question. A lot of us, you know, have hobbies, and a lot of us are nurturing hobbies, but that is a blessing. If we are able to nurture the hobby that we are interested in, it is a blessing. And with children as well. But for children, we need to first inculcate the hobbies in them and then see to it that we nurture it well. And they should just enjoy what they are doing. There are lots and lots of activities, you know, plethora of classes going on around. But please let me tell the parents, all these are not hobbies. These are just activities. Sometimes to even help them out for a math class, a Vedic math, a phonic class. But hobbies is something, you know, which children love doing. They look forward to it. Not only children, all of us. If I'm interested in singing, I love singing. Sometimes there's a time constraint, but right now we don't have that. So I think nurturing hobbies in children is a wonderful idea. And right now we also have the liberty of doing it with ourselves. There are loads and loads of things that we can do with the children. And the first one that I would like to talk about is gardening. For children, it would be taking care of the plants. You know, when they water the plants and when they see them grow, it's the feeling on, you know, and it's just priceless to see them smile. And, you know, let them dig the soil, let them water the plants, let them play with the soil. Believe me, don't worry about their hands being dirty or they're spoiling their cells. No, the microbes that are present in the soil are so good for their gut. So I would strongly advocate that they must be allowed to take care of their plants. Let them name their plants, let them talk to their plants. It's all very therapeutic, you know, and it's very, very liberating. When they water the plants, it's as close as they can come to nature. So one would be your gardening. The next one would be origami. Children love to create things. And when I talk about origami, I'm not saying that, you know, it has to be something which is very difficult, but just making a tulip, just making a boat, kids are overjoyed. And let them paint. So, you know, as the age progresses, we can give them to make paper toys. Next in the line would be music and dance. All of you would agree that that is just magical. All of us love dancing. And kids should be allowed to dance with gay abandon. No looking for perfection, just let them have fun. The entire, you know, for them, enjoying is what matters most. So let them dance, let them just, you know, dance away to glory, I would say. And music, put on some nice music at home, hum music, you know, introduce them to different musics. And then also let them just sing along. When we sing along with the children, they love it. So have some karaoke sessions with the children. They just love doing that. The next I would say is movie time. Have a movie time with your kids. I'm not saying have it every day, but say once a week, kids look forward to it. You know, you can try and make them watch the old classics. We have Mary Poppins, we have Sound of Music, we have Madagascar, then we have Chota Bheem. Hindi movies, I loved Mr. India and I still love it. So, you know, something that even brings humor to us and laugh over it, have a bucket of popcorn and let them all enjoy. I think we all need to unwind. There is a child in all of us. So let's have a movie time with the children. Again, not every day, but once in a fortnight. I think that serves good enough. Then the next one I would like to say is about painting, doodling. With my own experience, I've seen I have two grandchildren. One is all of 5. She's my granddaughter. And my grandson is 15 months. Both of them love paints. And, you know, there is nothing structured. But whenever I see my granddaughter coloring, she's always making rainbows. So I keep asking her, Amira, why are you making rainbows all the time? Nani, they're so beautiful. They have all the colors. They're so bright. And the younger one is just doodling and messing everywhere, but he is having such a lovely time. I think that is very important, to nurture that, to let them have fun. So that would be one. Then give them, you know, expose them to different techniques. And you never know, they might be great painters. So we need to start that right now. Then I would also say, cooking, baking. My granddaughter loves making ice lollies. This is something that she looks forward to. And when we are baking, she's the one who'll say, okay, Nani, is this 1 cup or is this a spoon? So it's not only that they're cooking, but they are also learning so many things, what things take longer to dissolve, what things, you know, take lesser time. So this is learning through play. And another thing is that when she is cooking with me, she is also learning to eat so many more things. All the nutritive food, which earlier she would say, I'm not interested. But now, since she's doing it, and she has developed a love for baking. So I think this is just the right thing to do with the children. And last but not the least, this is something very, very close to my heart, is reading. All of us know that books are the window to the world. And you don't have to go anywhere. Just reading a book, you know about everything that's happening around. But this is something that we need to inculcate in the children. My son, who is, I think I'm, narrating a lot of experiences, but, they are very close to my heart. My son, who's now going to be 20 soon, when he was much, much younger, say around 2 and 3, I started reading to him every single night. And there were times when I would say, Beta, today I am tired. But he would say, no, Mom, we have to read. So whether it was for 15 minutes or 20 didn't really matter. I had to read to him every night. And by the time he started reading, he was a voracious reader. He loves books even now. Now it's more on Kindle, but he's just loving it. So it's my humble request to all the parents listening that reading is something that we need to be very, very passionate about. When you're going to read to them, you don't need to do spellings with them. When they are reading themselves, they don't need to learn spellings. They don't need to learn synonyms. They don't need, to go to any classes because they are reading so well. It is developing, their mental abilities. Okay. It's stimulating their thinking. So it's very, very important that children read. But you need to set a routine. You need to read to your child every single day. See that the book has a lot of big illustrations, but read to your child every day and discuss about the illustrations. Believe me, it's going to go a long way. A lot of us, we are on the laptop or watching television, and we expect that the child should be reading. Sorry, it's monkey see, monkey do. If they see you reading, they will want to read themselves. But the moment they feel, okay, mama is watching television or she is on her cell phone, I can also do the same. So parents, please don't make that mistake. Please read to your child.
Yes.
And I think that's the biggest investment one can make. It's priceless. Don't cut corners. Thank you.
Thank you, Sangeeta. You brought out some really valid points. And the crux of what you get is children imitate parents. So how you are during this period will determine how they are. You are fond of reading, you are enjoying your hobbies, they will also enjoy their hobbies. And this whole idea of nurturing and nature and nurture, when you're gardening, you're actually seeing something get life and grow. How much more beautiful can it get than that? And having a child see that growth process and being part of it, being part of the person who is looking after and nurturing it. I think that is a gift that you're giving the child by inculcating these kind of hobbies, where they get to realize that, they are responsible for the growth of the child and they are meant to look after that plant. Music and dance, everybody loves it. So I think that is superb. And it's also very important as a family to enjoy these things. Not only just have your child have music and dance. Actually, I've joined this dance class, which is online, and Rhythm is Happy Feet for anyone who also wants to join. And I'm just loving it because really no one is looking at you. You're on a digital tool right now. And you can just let go and have a lot of fun. So I think this is wonderful, just to explore all these things with your children, give them paints, let there be mess, just have fun. Have them also involved in the cleanup. I think that is also fun. So it's not only the mess that is fun, but taken responsibility of getting everything else in order is also their responsibility. I think that is wonderful. Thank you, Sangeeta. That was
Thank
really
you.
nice. Yes. And Yasmin,
Hi,
we're happy to
Amrita.
come to you right now. So, Yasmin, yours is going to be the last question. So, it's a very pertinent question now for everyone else who's listening out here because it's a closing question. So, what are the various precautions and safeguards that you are taking as a family against the pandemic in terms of health, hygiene, and safety? So, this would be giving our audience out here guidelines on how they can also do what you are doing.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So, yes, it is a closing ceremony kind of thing, but I'll brief out and take up all the activities, whatever they have said. So, one thing is for sure that, Amrita, thank you very much for providing this platform and giving us an opportunity to share our thoughts and views in this closed environment wherein we are facing lockdown, and we are really, haphazardly running between webinars and doing our household chores and everything. So thank you very much, Amrita. Secondly, I would try to just sum up everything. So when we are talking about health and hygiene, let us not forget that when we talk about health, it is divided, it is a broader umbrella dividing uh, the health quotient into mental health and physical health. So when we are talking about mental health, as everybody said, we are looking at fun, frolic, dancing away to glory and all. What is that? We are just trying to protect ourselves and make us emotionally and emotionally strong. So as a family, when the first thing which when I was one fine day the lockdown was declared, and then there is Janta curfew and all that, I got stuck at home, and believe me, the past 20 years I've never sat at home like this. So it was that, okay, my family, it's a family trust, and this school belongs to me, Belvedere Springs School International. So I have my husband working along with me as a trustee, and we are the management and everything. And it's like every day going away, and the kids are going to for their colleges, and there's no family time at all. So the past 20 years, it always, there was a big question mark, whenever, even if it's May, we used to sit for admissions. The management was always on the rounds to the school. We had the admin staff and we were taking round. So never have I ever had a vacation time. So I think God has heard our prayers also in a manner where it is vacation time. And sometimes I question myself, why such a long vacation? So like we are humans, so we cannot be isolated for such a long time and all that. But yes, when it comes to family time and family's health, I can observe in this very lockdown that the bonding which has come in with the everything, where, okay, when we were not around kids and today we are around kids and kids are around us, and what feelings we have for each other, doing the little things that matters so much. That's real happiness, Amrita. I would like to share this thing where we have, my daughters were never into the kitchen. But then when I have my webinars and all, I'm blessed with two daughters, and they get into the kitchen, and the recipes they are trying, they're amazing. Like I heard those Oreo laddus, they have already tried Oreo cakes and everything at home. So it's amazing to have this thing around, and they are like, okay, Mama, if you're busy with all these things, so we will be there in the kitchen to help you out. And my husband, who has never done the cleaning, he's there helping out with that and everything. So it's nice. There's a lot of bonding. So it goes to say that, we have to be very optimistic in these times. There should be a lot of positivity around us. And that is the base what we are giving our children. So now the new normal which has come in is different. After COVID-19, when this phase soon passes, as we know we love the proverb, this too shall pass. So we know this will also pass. It's just a matter of time. So it's just that the new normal now is going to be different. So in terms of health and hygiene, when it is mental health, yes, we have to be strong. We have to make our children strong. When it comes to physical health, yes, we have to take care of our immunity. You have a lot of WhatsApp messages pouring in, and you have all elders talking about, have, gargle with salt water, and keep sipping hot water. And then you have this ginger tea. And of course, you can exercise, and yoga is the best way to balance both physical and mental health. Then yes, Again, you come to the senior citizen in the house, you can have some breathing exercises for them. You can ask them to, do some pranayam and yoga and all these things. When it comes to hygiene, we also looking at in some, in short span of time when the schools reopen, we will be training our children more for being, sanitizing themselves, taking, staying clean, staying safe. The handshakes will be a past thing now, a thing of the past. We'll be having more of namastes. So we'll be teaching them so many new norms that you have to go for this new normal now. And I'm sure everybody will get into it. When we talk about safety, yes, at home, you can also get a first aid kit ready. You can always have a first aid kit wherein a little, we know that everything is not COVID. So a small sneeze or some cough or something can be handled at home by, a Calpol should be there, and your first aid kit should have some sanitizers, gloves. Then you have a mask. You can also ask the children to spend some quality time making creative hand masks. They can do it themselves, make some hand masks to get ready for the future. That is making them future ready. When they go to school, they can have lovely colored masks with them, to change and often wear it and all. Because this we will have to adapt. We have to adapt ourselves to this. We cannot say that we will allow our children just out that, okay, now this is over and your school has started, so you're just going to, whereas the schools are so concerned about taking utmost care and precautions for the child, the parents will also have to do the same. So now is the right time where you can also bring in safety measures by making masks, gloves, and everything at home. Your first aid box can have a lot of thermometers, sanitizers, and all these things. I would just sum up by saying that long and short of it, stay safe, value time and value relationships as of now, have fun. I'm going to share some links with you from the WHO, so you can have those precautionary measures. And I know everybody is following it. Still, it was just a run through. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Yasmin. Yes, all these things are run throughs what we're doing, but these are all reminders that we all need, because this is the order of the day. So it was really, really valuable about, making those masks, having children make them for themselves, because this is the new normal and we have to accept that. So that's really, really nice, way of putting everything and getting your own little first aid kit ready. Children are happy doing all those things. Now they're accepting that they have to be careful. And I think that is very, very important. Knowing that you have to be careful, taking care of yourself, ensuring that you are safe, ensuring others are safe. All these are things that we have to take care, that children know right now. So thank you, Yasmin. That was really, really
welcome.
Yes. And I want to say thank you to everybody over here that we had such an enriching session. Are there any questions that we have to answer? Can we see anything?
There is a question, Amrita, in the question.
Once learners are back in face-to-face learning environment after lockdown, how is an educator we are going to be handling learners emotionally? Yes, does anyone want to take the question, or should I take it? So, okay, I think I'll take the question. I think, emotionally, right now we have to create the foundation for having a strong emotional base. So right now you're with your child, and you're with your child for a long period of time. Once your child goes to school, again, we are going to have this sporadic thing where everybody is getting into their own routines. It's nice to establish right now that you are safe and you're emotionally taken care of. When children are with their parents and they know that parents are there, backing them, taking care of them, being there for them, and things are going to change, and change is the only constant. And once they get to know that, I think they will be better prepared. And we always think that children, cannot adapt. But I think children adapt better than adults. Adults are always so fearful about children. Are they going to be able to take this? Are they going to be able to do that? And you see children, it's just like a breeze for them. Once they know what this is, once you explain, like how Kritika said, give those bindis or whatever, and they understand the concept, they're going to be very careful. So I think, really, this whole adaptation is inherent in children. They have this survival instinct. As far as emotional, standing is concerned, I think that should come right now. That's the time to build that bond right now. And they'll be perfectly all right. We all don't know the future, but we are all ready to take it the way it is. Yes. Is there any other question that we have to answer? Okay, I got one question out here. How will they adapt? How will they face this learning environment socially? So Pooja, right now we don't know what is going to happen, because I'm sure we'll have to wear these masks. I'm sure things are not going to go back to normal. People are not just going to get up and start going out just like this. I think right now we will have to be careful. In fact, I saw this picture of, someone having a hat in China, and they had a hat with two long, like the propeller blades of a helicopter coming out. And that's what children are wearing to school over there. So the schools which have started have that, so that there is a social distancing maintained. But I'm just thinking that everyone is so innovative, and we are all here finding ideas. In Kerala, they have umbrellas given out by the government. They're buying it at a reasonable price, or at a discounted price, and they're using umbrellas to move, because that is keeping the space. So all of us are applying our minds, and I'm sure something will work out. Yes, for us. Anything else that we need to answer? Can I see? So what am I grateful for today? Yes, this is Kritika. Thank you for noting it down. And thank you so much for everyone who said that they got value from the session. We all certainly got value from you being an audience. Because of you, we are all here. So thank you everyone for attending this session. You could be doing anything else, but you took time to be here with all of us. And thank you so much. And thank you all the panelists. It was wonderful hearing you speak, sharing your ideas, contributing on this platform. It was absolutely wonderful. And Ritu is our back end over here. Want to say thank you so much, Ritu, for handling everything back end over here for us, so that this could go so smoothly.
It was a pleasure.
All right. Well, and thank you everybody. We'll take leave, and please do write to us. Let us know if you want any other topics. Let us know if you want us to speak about other things that you are interested in, or something that you are, you care deeply about. So just let us know. We are an education team just wanting to give back. And if you're not a member of the ECA, please become a member of the ECA. I'm going to be putting down the website on this chat, so that everyone who wants to know more details can go there. Thank you. Bye-bye. It was lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, girls.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Ritu.
Bye all.
Thank you.